My wife is dead. The best Christmas present I could have gotten. TOMC Jan 1, 23.
Originally posted by u/training noise 9549 and r/true off my chest on Jan 1, 23, updated as an edit, undated. Trigger warning coming in. 3.2.1.
Trigger warning. Drunk driving. Cheating. Death. Less than. Original post. My wife is dead. The best Christmas present I could have gotten. At the beginning of 2022, I caught my wife having an affair with one of her exes. Our marriage wasn't perfect. I was not the perfect husband, I will admit. But I did my best. I put effort into the entire 5 years we were together. I put my all into the relationship. I could not say the same. I was forced to confront the reality of who she truly was shortly after I caught her. She illegally evicted me from our shared home, lied to the police to try and get me arrested, tried to get me fired from my job, and tried to turn all of my friends against me. Some of these succeeded, while others did not. She has made my life a living hell since the day I asked her for the divorce and has planted her heels into the ground over our separation to try and drain all my finances and emotional strength from me. The only upside is we had no kids for her to use as weapons. But I soon found out that her policy of strict birth control with me did not extend to her suitor. As he got her pregnant 5 months ago, I thought maybe this would help speed along the divorce. But it only rallied her in her efforts to destroy me. On Christmas Eve, my wife and her suitor went to a party where both of them got drunk. I find this fact terrible as all her friends knew she was pregnant as well. Her suitor drove them home. A mistake that would cost them both their lives. In the state I live in, our divorce is now considered to never have even started. I will be able to claim her life insurance policy for myself and move back into my home. Her parents called me up distraught yesterday, acting as if the last year had never happened, and offered their full support to my funeral preparations for her. My confusion here was beyond belief. But the apple does not fall far from the tree when it comes to my wife. I told them if they want a funeral, it was coming out of their pockets. I will pay for her to be cremated and deliver her ashes to them in the cheapest urn offered if they desire. They called me horribly and tried to guilt me about her life insurance. But after only 4 minutes on the phone with them, I hung up and blocked every one of her family's numbers. I'm going to be taking a few extra days off work to move back into my house over the next week. I've already made arrangements to have her stuff hauled off so my home will be an empty canvas to start my life anew. I don't know if there is a God, or if this was just karma, but I truly believe now that I have come out on the other side of the storm. OP's comments. Judge me how you will. I will not argue with how my actions influence others' opinions about me. I just know that if the situation was reversed, my wife would be shopping around for a sports car with the life insurance money she collected on me. You're right. I don't like them, but they do deserve her things if they want them. I'll unblock her mom and offer to make arrangements to deliver her stuff wherever she wants. If she wants it all or only certain things, I'll eat the cost and deliver it to her. I'm already paying to have it hauled and trashed, so no point in caring where it goes. I cut those people out of my life when they turned on me due to false accusations that I had video evidence to prove wrong. If her lies being exposed in 4K are not enough to convince them, they are nothing more than anchors to be released in the sea. I will be installing cameras at the house tomorrow. The locks have already been repinned. My divorce lawyer has already given me recommendations and I am meeting with an attorney on Wednesday. Update. I have decided to elaborate on a few common threads I see in this post here, as responding to all the comments would be too much. Firstly, some are judging me for the way I am reacting to the death of 3 people. You're right. It is not normal nor is it healthy. I feel no emotions toward my ex at this moment. All my hatred, resentment, and regret evaporated when I learned of her death. I feel nothing but relief right now. This void has slowly consumed me over the past few days. I feel numb, like I'm dreaming. Like what happened is not real. This woman made my life a living hell for over a year. She set out to destroy me, and would not stop until she did. I do not like the fact that I feel this way over the death of 3 people. But that is not a box I feel ready to unpack at this moment. Secondly, I have reached out to my ex's mom today and things are much more civil as of now. I'll pay the hauling company to move her stuff into one of their storage units and they can figure out the rest. Her mother revealed to me that they cannot afford to host a funeral for my ex. I am 100% the legal beneficiary of her life insurance. Despite my past hatred for her family, I told her mother I will give them a small amount from her life insurance so they can have a service and arrange burial logistics for her. This is contingent on us cutting ties after, and I will not be involved any further in her funeral. I will still be talking to a lawyer. Lastly, I am not going to elaborate any further except the only lives lost was hers, her suitor, and their unborn child. Some are saying I should sell the house. Right now, I only want to return to my home. The details of where I end up, either there or somewhere over the rainbow, are yet to be determined. I do not know what life holds for me, or for any of us. This event happened, maybe for a reason, or maybe the universe has no logic at all. This gift put an end to a period of my life that sent me to the brink of destruction. It's morbid to think that the death of 3 people was what pulled me to the other side alive. It's interesting how quick it can all change or end. Just a reminder that I am not the original poster.
I don't remember why, but I was saying to my friend last night that you don't have to be sad that someone has died. If someone is making your life terrible, you're allowed to be relieved when they can't do that anymore.
FYI, life insurance isn't part of the estate. When you sign up for life insurance, you designate a beneficiary. That person is often a spouse. Sometimes people forget to change the beneficiary when they get divorced and remarried. Fuck the expectation that you have to feel sad if someone died. No one has any obligation to feel a certain way, just to behave in a manner that falls somewhere on the scale of appropriate reactions. If that person was abusing you, making your life hell, or you just didn't know them, it's okay to not feel grief. It's harsh, but, given it is all true and not leaving out key details, I find it impossible to feel angry for someone feeling that way. No man is an island, but sometimes people do try very hard to drill holes in the boat. As someone who has been harassed excessively and had my life turned to hell for more than 7 years, I completely understand his feelings here. I would rejoice if this person died. No joke. I know it's horrible, perhaps morally corrupt, to feel like that about another human being. But damn, the relief of finally being free from them would be all overshadowing. Sure, Op should see a therapist. Definitely. But there's nothing abnormal about his reaction. Just gonna say, Oop was probably fixating on negative comments. They received a plethora of top comments were all either solidarity comments or advice. It was not a popular idea to criticize Oop for his feelings, despite him feeling the need to address such comments. I hope he gets therapy. He has had a really rough go of it. I actually can relate to this quite a bit. I was trying to divorce my ex after a series of horrible choices on his part led us to separate. I did feel a lot of pain when he passed, as we have children together. But the relief was palpable. I didn't have to argue with him or worry anymore about his refusal to move forward with legal proceedings, pay child support, not end up in the emergency room or jail every few days, etc. People are judging the original op as callous and cold-blooded, but I know someone going through a similar situation, minus the deaths, and being slandered and manipulated is soul-crushing. Being released from the pressure of having your life and reputation implode must be an incredible relief. I understand the feeling of oop. My best friend's brother died of a brain contusion due to being absolutely wasted and falling down the stairs of their parents' home. When she told me he died, I cheered. I don't care what anyone else says to me. He was a vile, horrible, disgusting person who made her life absolutely miserable while they were growing up. He threatened her with a gun and actually shot at her when she visited for a brief moment as adults. I had nothing but contempt for that man and am glad that he died.
Assholes don't turn into good people once they die. People need to stop pretending they do. NGL, I get where he's coming from.
Just because someone's dead doesn't mean that what they did is wiped clean. Is he cold and callous? Sure, justifiably so. She had well earned such treatment. Demanding that death clears all bad feelings and everyone must become caring and sympathetic to the corpse is simply stupid. It's not like only good people die. He is completely justified in how he feels. The betrayal and mental torture he underwent for nearly a year is finally over. Sucks that they died and took an unborn baby with them, but that doesn't mean Oop has to be sad or not happy that his ex and her AP are no more. I hate how people go all holier than thou in these situations. This woman tried to manipulate anyone in his life to go against him, and even tried to get him fired. And she is the one who cheated. Of course he feels relief. Any normal person would feel relief. His life was hell, and I can't even imagine the anxiety of worrying about what she will pull next. This poor man just reacted like a human and got attacked by a bunch of strangers who've probably never faced any of these hardships. It's so easy to judge others with black and white statements such as, "You shouldn't wish death on anybody." Well, F that. F them all for making him feel bad when he finally got a bit of breathing air. Wow, this is so damn similar to my story. I got an email from my husband's tramp and I told him I wanted a divorce. He then went on a scorched earth campaign with my previous employers. My family and his friends most believed him. He was great at lying. I filed for divorce the week of Thanksgiving 2018. I wanted my damn name back. In Texas you have to wait at least 90 days to actually divorce, and if you're doing this on your own, you have to serve the other person. That bastard refused to be served. He played his little games and absolutely refused to be served. He drank himself to death in a hospital in San Antonio in January of 2019. We weren't divorced. I became a widow at 36. His family wanted a big elaborate funeral, but they expected me to pay for it. My now dead husband hadn't helped pay the bills in a year. I didn't have the money, nor was I going to spend it even if I did have it. They are still bitter over me not paying for a damned funeral for an abusive, drug-addicted, alcoholic POS. I collected $255 from Social Security. I collected his last paycheck of a couple grand. And that's it. When I turn 60 I qualify for his Social Security. And I'm stuck with his last name. Even though I paid almost $400 for the divorce proceedings, it's null and void. I don't get that money back, and they won't even put it towards me changing my name. And I don't even want a new last name. Just my maiden name. To do that I have to pay fees. Get fingerprinted. Go to the damn police station, and when it's all said and done will end up costing me about $1,000 in fees. Time off work to go to court. And changing things like my passport. All to get my damned maiden name back. No consideration for the fact that the bastard threatened to kill me and I don't want his last name. No consideration for the fact that I was asking for my last name back during the divorce. I'm just Saul until I can afford the time and money to get my last name back. And the real kicker is, had I been able to divorce that boss, I'd have gotten my name back without all the extra steps that I now have to go through. Firstly, some are judging me for the way I am reacting to the death of 3 people. You're right. It is not normal, nor is it healthy. Some are judging him? I know Redditors are completely out of touch and clueless, but how is it unhealthy to celebrate the death of your torturer and abuser? This is literally what people do in droves when a brutal dictator dies, for example. Someone who oppressed, controls, dominates, hurts, abuses, etc., etc. Eliciting the response this guy had could not be more normal or healthy. Some people insist that death means the passed on or suddenly redeemed or forgivable. It's far too easy to cast judgment on people's genuine feelings. Good for op. I with them the best. Well, this was a lot. I hope Oop finds peace with whatever demons may be haunting him right now. WTH did people expect from Oop? That he cried a river for the loss of his enemy. A woman WH tried to make him lose his job, his money, his house, and even his freedom. Her accomplice and their unborn creature? I don't know this man, but none can accuse him of being a hypocrite. If someone is relieved when you die, that says more about the deceased than the one still alive.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.